So to recap, what we've done is a phenomenal meal that you would experience here at EVO, as you all know. We started with some baby arugula with the roasted vegetables and the galette. And I'm going to come back and talk about these in detail. But from there, we went to our sautéed vegetables. We could have done it as a stir fry, but we did them as a sauté. We then have our pan-seared coriander salmon on top of some fresh-made fettuccine noodles with our house-made bread, of course with some extra virgin olive oil. And then finishing with our sweet galette of Braeburn apples, a little bit of the candied hazelnuts that we made earlier, and some creme fraiche. So let's kind of walk through these in detail just to make sure we've got this covered. The baby arugula, although we didn't show that today, is simply a baby washed green, dressed with a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, coriander, and of course a little bit of lemon zest. We've dressed that with the roasted vegetables from our vegetable segment and the savory galette, which was one of the two galettes we did. Now, although we made two galettes today, normally in class I wouldn't have a pie crust twice, but I think they're just so phenomenal that it had to happen today. With the sautéed vegetables, we have a combination of things. We have our asparagus, we have our baby bok choy, including the leaves, the asparagus bottoms and tops, as I said, and the fennel. We finish with a little bit of the roasted red bell pepper to give us some continuity, of course some color, but I really like the difference in textures and flavors. The fact that we've got a sauté with some of the roasted vegetables really works very well. Again, with the pasta, it's very light, as you can see on the plate. The egg isn't missed at all. The salmon is beautifully cooked à point, or as they say, just finished. And we tested the doneness of the salmon by actually touching that tendon underneath your thumb. And as you all know, if your hand's open and that's happening, that's what rare feels like. And we went for more of a tight fist, medium to medium well. But the fish is definitely a little under inside. And it's a nice accompaniment with some chervil, which is an edible garnish, of course, and the bread. Finishing off the four with the galette, you've got that nice tart apple with the sweet, savory cinnamon, if you will, the sugar, and of course the candied nuts. A nice accompaniment. For me, the only thing missing now is what wine choice to use. And I'd go one of two ways. I'm going to start with a Pinot Blanc by Erath Vineyards. Now, this is a pretty phenomenal wine in and of itself. This is a 2004 Willamette Valley Pinot Blanc. I don't know if you'll notice by the bottle, it was a screw top, and that is okay. Don't panic, don't freak out. I didn't lose it. Screw tops are a good thing. It's actually one of the ways that we're looking at saving the cork shortage that there is in the world. Also, knowing that 1 in 10 wines are tainted from bad cork, it's a good thing to save more of the wine by using it. It's not for every wine, but certainly for this wine. So what I want to do is really talk about why this wine works with this course. I'm getting a couple things. I'm getting some pear, I'm getting some straw-like flavor and aroma, but I'm getting a lot of grassy green fruit. And I think that really works well because the green fruit actually probably works its way through the dessert, almost to the dessert, but I think the candied hazelnuts might be a little much for the wine. Definitely with the arugula, with the pepper against the pear, definitely with the roasted vegetables. I think the stir-fry vegetables there also are going to work and pair well with this white wine. And of course, salmon with its oily nature and the coriander, as well as the delicate pasta, are all going to make this wine both mellow and blossom at the same time. Now, if you're not a white wine fan and you prefer the red wines, I'm going to choose the Sokol Blosser Pinot Noir. The wine I pick with this particular course would be the 2001 Willamette Valley. Now, this is a much more incredibly aromatic, full-flavored, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Let's taste it. Very traditional. I think the first word that comes to mind for me with this Pinot Noir is luxurious. It is like having your cake and eat it too. I just have to say that. What you have here is all the earthiness of a true Burgundian wine, but it's definitely New World Willamette Valley. So what we have is some full fruit forward. We have that mustiness that you find in the soil that comes forward as well. Pairing well with, of course, the oil and the fish. I think Pinot Noir and salmon are an obvious choice. And with Sokol-Blosser, they do a phenomenal job with really making sure the wine is mature before it goes to bottling. So you've got a great combination with the salmon. And with everything else here, I think the cheese and the galette, as well as the vibrance of the sautéed vegetables, are going to work well with the Pinot. I dare say that Pinot Noir would really work well with our dessert, because I think Pinot and apple, hey, the apples and the Pinot Noir grapes are harvested very similar times from a standpoint of when they're picked. And to me, the rule of thumb is if they grow together and are picked together, they generally work well together. Hazelnuts, although the candy might be a little bit much, I think the sugar in the hazelnuts might bring forward a little bit more of the alcohol in the wine, but still a very good combination across the board. So there you have it. Our Pinot LeBlanc is our wine choice with the Erath Vineyards. Sokol-Blosser's Willamette Valley Pinot Noir for our red wine. And you have what I would call a feast. So I'll raise my glass and to say to all my friends from Lenore and myself, and of course our two poodles, buon appetito.